of stuff, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Alabama, for sure. I saw, when you had the X post on there talking about Ryan Grubb. Yeah, Ryan Grubb getting fired by the Seahawks, right? And it's like, I love when stuff like this happens, not because of somebody getting fired, but it's because Ryan Grubb, like, he turned down, right? He turned down Bama, and he goes to the NFL. And then after 1 year, 1 year he gets fired. And I'm like, yeah, not the greatest move. So now it's like you've got a shot to do what you probably originally should have done. And Ryan Grubb going to Alabama to be offensive coordinator, if that occurs, would probably be really good for him. And it would be very good for Alabama as well. Because Nick Sheridan is not it. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that Nick Sheridan is not the best guy for offensive coordinator at Alabama. I've had extensive research and knowledge of this guy and past experience watching him be the offensive coordinator in Indiana. He was not good. And at Alabama, with way more talent, felt like he underperformed mightily. Didn't run the ball very much. Didn't, utilize Milroe's strengths. So even though I don't think Ryan Grubb would have necessarily done all that much better with Milroe, because of the fact Ryan Grubb is still used more to a passing-friendly offense, I think he would have done better than Sheridan. And hopefully a move will be made in that direction for Alabama. And again, not happy Grubb got fired. I just think it's a little bit ironic and a little funny, though, because it's like you think it's going to work out for him going to the NFL, and it just doesn't. It's just funny how that happens. But we'll see if he ends up going to Bama and if it works out for Alabama in the long run with that. But definitely can't wait to talk about some Crimson Tide football tonight and news, and appreciate everybody for being here so far, and can't wait to take some calls.
There we go. And before we talk a little bit about, our take on Ryan Grubb and Nick Sheridan, all that stuff, come on in and become a YouTube member of Alabama with the Voice College Football, where you can become a Crimson Faithful member for $2.99 a month, where you will have a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat, and you get a member's shout-out, custom emoji to use in the comments and the live chat. And for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you will get priority replies to comments and access to monthly hangouts with yours truly, and Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, and Johnny Burts. And you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And in return, you can become a Bear Bryant legend on Alabama with the Voice College Football. And neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor bad weather, and nor wildfires, or any bad weather or bad events are not going to put a stop to us. We will make sure we fulfill your requests. We're not going to let tornadoes put a stop to us. We will fulfill them. We will fulfill them. That we can promise you. Right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football.
Absolutely. You're not going to want to miss out on being a member at Alabama with the Voice of College Football. We got a ton of great content coming down the road. Johnny, Jackson, and me. And like Jackson said, I mean, whatever requests you have, we'll do the best we can. Can't promise it. We'll do the best we can to make that happen. But appreciate everybody who is already a member of Alabama with the Voice of College Football, and hope more of you join the party. Dreadnought Fear says, Jeffrey, if you got Arthur Smith, would that make you happy? What do you think about that, Jackson? Arthur Smith. Mid. I mean, I would think it'd be the worst hire, but no.
I'm just waiting for you to say mid, man, because I was like, he's mid. He's mid.
I don't know what other
I've
word.
heard people say that. It's like, wait a minute, did they just use Jeffrey's catchphrase?
Yeah, I love that word. I try not to overuse it, but
he's mid. He's mid.
I love saying it though. Like, you're not good, you're not bad, you're just mid. That's it.
We're gonna get that on a T-shirt one of these days.
Hey, wait, tons of T-shirt ideas, man. We'll make it happen. Dave here says you're basically a Waffle House.
Oh
I'll
my
make that a
God.
t-shirt as well.
That's funny.
Oh man. The real MVP said there's a lot of
Oh,
mid out there.
what a
Yes.
dude.
The issue is most people use mid for bad. Well, I mean, I don't personally. I mean that's where I differ from most people. But I mean, in their defense, though, there's a lot of bad things in the world right now. So I mean, if you don't want to just keep using bad or garbage or trash, then mid. I mean, it's the hot word. But then that word will get old, and people will come up with something else, right? I mean, so. Dreadnought Fear says Ryan Grubb is a wash. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, he was the fall guy for the Seahawks, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think one bad year. Technically, it's a bad year, I guess. I wouldn't say it was a horrible year, but I mean, like a bad season for Seattle, whatever, is like now Ryan Grubb can't coach offense. I mean, he did a great job at Washington. He did a great job at Fresno State. So, in my opinion, I think that, he's a good college offensive coordinator. And until that's proven otherwise, I think that he would be an upgrade over Nick Sheridan. I mean, Nick Sheridan was not very good. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Alabama, we talked all season about the fact that they didn't run the ball. I mean, I've never in my life have seen Alabama so unwilling to run the football. And historically, that's what they're known for. I know football's different now. I know you have to be able to pass the ball, at a high rate. But I was just so unimpressed with the play calling. I was so unimpressed with the lack of running the football. And I think Ryan Grubb would do a better job. If you watch Washington, even though Penix and they had that air raid attack, they still ran the ball decently well, better than Alabama did this season. So I mean, you would hire Grubb, right? I mean,
I know I would. I mean,
I would, yeah. I mean, I don't think you're going to get anybody else that maybe would be better. I mean, I would be shocked if they could get someone that both me or you, Jackson, would think would be better than him. I mean, you already you have the connection with Grubb, with DeBoer. It just fits. It works. I think that should happen. And if he doesn't work out, then you're gonna have to get someone else. But I think they should do that.
Well, and like Johnny and I, where I know like there's like a huge divide in Alabama Nation where a lot of Alabama Nation, like you have said, let's go get Grubb. Some of Alabama Nation has just been like, nah, we got to stick it out with Sheridan for at least 2025. Me, I'm kind of like, on the one hand, let's stick with him for half a season, but I'm listening on Ryan Grubb. Tell me more. Tell me more about the magic that Ryan Grubb brought at Washington and Fresno State and all over the place throughout his coaching career.
So yeah, I could be wrong. I know you would know this better than me, but Alabama, they don't have two offensive coordinators, right? Like Sheridan's just the offensive coordinator, correct? Well, there's a lot of teams, and I know that you've seen this before, but there are some teams in college football that have co-offensive coordinators. What Alabama could do is bring Ryan Grubb in and be a co-offensive coordinator at Alabama and have him basically be the main play caller, and then keep Sheridan as a co-offensive coordinator, but like reduce his duties. You can do that. I mean, I've seen that actually has worked. Like I think Indiana technically had co-offensive coordinators. Because this past season, Mike Shanahan was like the offensive coordinator, but then Tino Sunseri was like the co-offensive coordinator / quarterbacks coach. He didn't call the plays, but he was technically like an offensive coordinator. So IU did it. If Indiana did it, then you can do that with Grubb and Sheridan. Now, Sheridan might be irritated, but it's better than getting fired. So, and then, Sheridan could learn from Grubb, get better, and then maybe retake the job if Grubb leaves again. You could do that. Like I said, though, egos, you don't know how that stuff's going to work. I don't know, but I think that's a possibility that you could do. I mean, I just am not impressed with Nick Sheridan. I've already seen him at Indiana, and I know that Indiana did not have as much talent, but still. The drop-off from Kalen DeBoer at OC to Nick Sheridan at OC at IU was massive. It was massive.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Bama vastly underperformed what they could have done with this offense. Even though I will admit that Alabama's offense was not as good. I mean, outside of Ron Williams, there was not a whole lot of talent on the outside. So I don't know. Can't blame, I guess, Sheridan completely, but I don't know. I think that Grubb would still be better, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can't really tell where things are going to go like right now, but like we'll have a better point of view in like say October 2025 or November or by the time spring practice ends. Something like that.